So we hear the gospel of the sower of the seed. We've heard that before, probably many times. And the danger with hearing something many times is perhaps we don't listen carefully to what is the message. We might even think that this is, Jesus giving instruction on how to grow things. But it's something that there's a profound message for us. And there are two experiences, personal experiences, that help me to gain a little bit of insight into this particular parable. And the first has to do with my grandfather in Sicily, with my grandmother and my mother. My mother was the firstborn, and my grandfather had 2 small plots of land. That's all he had. And it was difficult to provide enough food for his growing family. My grandmother taught sewing, so that was an additional thing, but it just wasn't enough. So the earth that he had to be used very carefully. It was important that it produce as much fruit as possible. Well, my grandparents moved here, my mom and my grandmother came here in 1931. And in the summer of one summer 1960s, I don't remember exactly what year, we had the opportunity to be my family and I, to be at the beach. We were at Wildwood, I think, for a few weeks. And when we came back, my mother goes into the very tiny, small backyard, little garden that we had. She saw that my grandfather had ripped out all the flowers that my mother had planted, and he planted vegetables. So my mother said to him, "Pop, what did you do to my flowers?" And he said, in his broken English, "Ma, no produce fruit, is a weed." For my grandfather, the land was too precious not to produce fruit. I'll come back to that in a moment. Well, the second story is, some years ago, I was in Albuquerque, so I was assigned there. And one of the things that I missed were good vine-ripened tomatoes. You know what they taste like, right? So in New Mexico, they don't have Jersey tomatoes. So I decided to grow tomatoes. Now, there was a little patch behind the priory, which a priory at that time. There was a little patch there, and I said, "Oh, I could dig this up." There was this certain kind of grass. I don't know what kind of grass it was, but it wasn't nice grass like this. I would call this demon grass. And I just dug it up, pulled it all out as best I could, all the roots if I could. The problem was, it kept coming back. And if I didn't attend to it immediately, it would take over the garden. I planted the tomatoes. One of the parishioners of the parish there gave me a whole pickup truck load of horse manure. And I watered it every day. I looked at the tomatoes, and they flowered, and then they had little green tomatoes. I was delighted. But this grass kept coming back, demon grass. It wasn't just regular grass, demon grass. And I had to constantly pull it up. And I with a hoe, I chopped it up. I don't know if you remember the movie Fantasia. Mickey Mouse chops up the broom, and it becomes like 1,000 different brooms. Well, I chopped up the grass, the demon grass, and it became like 1,000 plants of demon grass all over. So I had to constantly pick it up, pull it out. So I didn't realize how much constant attention that little plot of earth required. If I didn't give it attention every single day, it would take over. So if I wanted vine-ripened tomatoes, I had to do that. So the story of the parable of the sower of the seed, it's not about gardening techniques, is it? The garden is not a plot of land. The garden is our heart, our soul. That's the garden that we're talking about. It's about us. And what we have to do, what we must decide if we want to bear fruit. And what kind of fruit we want to bear, and how committed are we to producing it. The garden is us. Now, if this were here, we could say, oh, this is thorny soil, this is rocky soil, this is the footpath. We'd say, we'll choose a different path. We'll choose a different plot, rather. We won't plant here, we won't plant. No. The only spot that is available is our heart and soul. This is Jesus saying, I want to plant my seed within you. And this is the only part or only plot that I can plant. It's in you. So you're either going to be open or not. So it was on a superficial level, I guess you'd say, I craved vine-ripened tomatoes. But I have to tell you that on a much deeper level, there are things that stir me to the depths of my soul. You watch the news, right? You see what's going on in our world, in our nation. Aren't you troubled? Aren't you grieving the witness of human cruelty and apathy? And isn't it distressing, deeply distressing to you? My spirit cries out because I want to do something. What do you want me to do, Lord? I'm stirred to ask the Lord in prayer, how can I make a positive difference in this world? How shall I use the garden of my soul to effect some change? What seed do you want to plant within me to bear good fruit? All right, so the two lessons from the two experiences that I had, two stories. Well, lesson number one, for my grandfather, the small plot of land that he had in Sicily was so critical to provide necessary food for his family that he had to use every square inch of that land for one purpose: to feed his family. My soul, your soul, it's a small plot of spiritual land, earth. It is not much, but it is too precious for it not to bear fruit for the God's kingdom. This little plot of spiritual soil is too precious not to bear fruit. So I pray, God, guide me on how to reorder my life to bear the most fruit for your kingdom. Lesson number two. And like that small garden in Albuquerque that needed constant attention to continually remove the weeds that would choke off the plants that produce the desired fruit, I need the Lord to help me to remove from my life all that would inhibit my spiritual growth. I don't know. Do you sometimes grow weary with dealing with all the things in our lives? Do we grow weary and say, I just can't do it today. I just can't pull up this weed today. I just can't deal with this human weakness today. I just can't deal with the weeds that are growing within me today. So we pray, Lord, if we don't keep at it, we will be overcome and it will be too much. Do not let me grow weary of removing the weeds that keep coming back to distract me, to bind me up. Help me always to keep making room in my life for the service of your people and your kingdom. So it's easy to say, I'm not going to serve today, or I'm not going to serve tomorrow, or I've served enough. I can rest now. Lord, direct me in weeding all that is within me that limits what I can offer to you. In the face of all the burdens of this world, all the heartache, the pain, the suffering, in the face of all of that, this world is starving for want of the fruits of God's kingdom. Lord, I am but a small garden in your kingdom. Give me the grace to use all that I am and all that I have to offer myself to feed your people with the fruit of your love. As I said, we're not talking about a plot of land. We're not talking about a garden out there. We're talking about the garden which is our soul, our heart. If it's not used to feed others in God's kingdom, they will starve. They will be devoid of the love of God in their lives, and they will suffer. Those around us will be diminished. The Lord, I'm here. Plant within me what you want to plant. Nurture within me what you want to nurture. Give me the energy to constantly make room for what you want to do within me. Give me the consistency and the perseverance to keep rooting out all that would block me from serving you and serving your people. I pray that my brothers and sisters here will want to do the same, because I believe that together we can make a significant difference in God's kingdom if we all allow this little plot of soil in our souls to be used for God's kingdom.